engage. Major Paula Awich.
Exactly, yeah.
Paula, you're overhyping the 1 million people
attendees for the after nomination
for the rally.
Yeah.
What's the big fuss all about? What statement are you trying to make?
Of course, I'm making a statement, but first let me join you in the citations you have made about the past memory, including that of Besigye. I also take cognizance or notice of that, and that now reflects to me why I don't envisage that similar thing today, and why I don't envisage that similar thing like the Besigye one today is because of our performance in the last 5 years. You see, Kagwa, if you perform so well, you lessen the strength of other upcoming candidates. If you perform poorly, then the other candidates' strength is seen.
Which lenses are you using? Short sight or long sight?
I'm using the scientific lens because power belongs to the people, as I said. The better you perform, the less resistance from the voters you get. Therefore, it means, remember that Besigye time was a time of war in the north, this and that.
2016.
That's 2016.
You're talking 2016.
Yes.
2016?
Yes.
2016 is when
the nominations
that happened.
Yes. So
somewhere around this time in 2015.
So you'll find that at that time, the challenges that we had in implementing the past manifesto was not as smooth as this. Therefore, don't expect that kind of campaign that you enter and you even include prayers that, oh my God, God should help us. That one of calling God to help you is determined by your performance in that Kisanja. And therefore, we don't expect it now. And that's why you don't really visibly see such a reoccurrence because of the performance. Now,
1 million.
About today is that I am not overhyping in the first place. I am actually saying what we have gone through our research and estimates, the feedback of the number of people who want to come. So it's not just a mere figure in the mind, but it is that we set in a place to estimate, to judge, to see from the feedback how many people will come.
Matter which, what differentiates then, like someone is asking, and like you're saying, depending on the performance, it either eases or makes harder. What differentiates today's nomination of your candidate, sole candidate, you say 2026 and beyond,
and
right?
Beyond.
As the national resistance movement. What changes do we see existent between today's nomination from the past? This is a nomination of protecting the gains. The last one was securing the future. Securing the future. The other was, I think, Kisanja Hakuna Mchezo. What differentiations do we see with today's nominations?
The difference is in, as I told you, in the performance that we have done. When you perform, like you have seen the flagship program of Paris Development Model and all this, and job creations and all this, many have been done. We have been systematically assessing periodically our manifesto implementation. At one time it was 50%, another time it was 70%, another time it was 80%.
And today?
So we tried as much as possible. So that is one difference that brings. But also the difference is that you can qualitatively see the change in the lives of the people. Now, that one you may not see by an open eye, but the experts, like in the economics, and they have what they know how to judge it, including life expectancy. Of course, peace is there.
If I was to sound journalistic, would I write a headline today that same drama, different day?
If you wrote, you'd not be correct, because we are saying we have step by step taken the country to another level. And that is why now you see the relative stability and peace. And that is why you see now the relative non-appearance of a formidable force, like you're saying in the Besigye. Those are some of the yardsticks you should see. They don't come by accident. They don't come by suppression. You don't come by suppression. They come by your actual performance.
Are you wishing away the kind of, sorry for interrupting, but are you wishing away the kind of opponents that President Yoweri Museveni will be facing for this? Because in the last election, he went into an election from a people power wave that later transitioned into a political party. That same kind is coming still for this nomination. Are you saying this time you have a much lighter one?
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying we have gone for election before where you even pray that God should help us. You even know in your heart that will it be well? But I'm saying that is not the circumstance now. We are entering into a campaign when our track record is seen. We are entering into a campaign where the Bible says you'll be judged by your deeds. We are entering into a campaign where we are basically, through a plan manifesto, nearly reached every household. We have reached nearly every household through this, but not all, and we do struggle. So, to be precise to your question, it is true we are entering into the campaign when we don't have that Kizza Besigye scenario, when we don't have clear, huge candidate, where you even need to pray. We are entering where we are just telling the people, give us more chance, we consolidate.
While you're harping on the gains, are you mindful of the losses that the NRM has made? And isn't it time for you to reflect on them? Poverty levels are rising. School dropout rates are rising. The state of health is despicable.
Not despicable. But to your question, whether or not we are mindful about the losses, actually it is what draws our attention. We are nearly throwing behind us the achievement. The achievement actually don't worry us now. We are throwing it behind. What worries us now is what you are calling the losses. And it is what we seek to address. Our gains, that is behind us. Our challenges, what we have not, that is in front of us. Including, what you would have said, for example, many cries and whatever came up in the Kawempe election. We still have to make sure that everything is polished up. So, it is true, we are so mindful to the losses. We are mindful of the gaps. And to that extent, we have actually passed the gains. We are not even now about the gains.
No, you're around to protect the gains.
You're about protecting.
Don't you find that slogan a little fanciful?
We are protecting the gains. We already know the gains are in the pocket. The way of protecting the gains is actually by addressing the losses. You see the contradiction? Because if you don't address the losses, you lose the gains. So it is a dialectical relationship that you have to appreciate. That the only way to protect the gain is to address the gaps, the losses. That is a clear dialectical linkage.
Do you subscribe to the school of thought that this is more of a transition election?
We really have not addressed our mind to the aspect you're saying, because the constitutional provision in the constitution is clear. The draftsmen and draftswomen in the Constituent Assembly could not in any way have not addressed their mind to this. The draftsmen and the draftswomen, and remember the Constitution after being passed was actually given to the president. So he looked at it. So the worry of transition does not come now. For us, we are here to execute within the mandate of the Constitution. But otherwise, to start to raise it now, the issue of transition, is as if you are saying the draftsmen and women who sat in the Constituent Assembly in Conference Center for a whole year were silent or did not draw their mind to that. Please read the Constitution. It is well catered for. Uganda is not hanging in a state of danger. Not at all. The Constitution is alive and clear to that.
You talked about some of the gains that you want to just push with yourself and concentrate on probably the gaps. Let's just take it to half, because by 2026, this government will be making 4 decades in power at the helm of Uganda. But let's just take it back to around 2000 and 1995, where the population was at about 20.67. Currently, as we speak, 2025, our population stands at about 45.